Welcome everybody to episode 2 of the Real Chat Podcast with Justin Jackson. I got my boy from another mother, Kyle Weigert, and we're ready to chop it up and just have some real chat. So what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's been pretty busy all week. Um, it's actually been a long week, actually. Things haven't been the greatest, but they can be always better. Living life, doing what I love, my passion. I don't know. How about you, Justin? How was your week?
And I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Blessed, man. This week was excellent. Actually, I'm still, a little shocked at everything that transpired, but I was able to accumulate the Legacy Milo Jackson Life Coaching LLC. So I got that official paperwork on Monday. I also had an interview for becoming a certified peer specialist, and I'll be starting those courses on this coming up Monday. We also have been, searching for a house for a long time. We finally found one that we like, and hopefully we're getting some good news on that as well. So, I mean, this week has been very, very productive. I had the opportunity to sit down and speak with a actual life coach, and get some advice from him, and it was really some thorough advice. So I'm going to start working on some of those things that he was able to teach me. So, I mean, it's been a very productive week. And, but for the episode 2, we want to jump in and talk about, fatherhood and what it means to us, how fatherhood has changed our lives, So I want to ask you, Kyle, how has 7 years of fatherhood transformed you into who you are today?
Man, 7 years. That's crazy. My baby girl is going to be 8 years old next year. 7 years of being a father. Man, it's been the greatest thing of my life. One of the greatest things of my life. Seeing her grow. It's been hard sometimes to be able to show up for her, not realizing that the lifestyle I grew up around, that I don't need to have that I can be the change of the cycle with my own child. Um,
Yes.
it's it's not always easy. I just want to say that being a father for me has been inspiring, motivational, um, exciting, sad, just being real, like there's all different kinds of emotions that go along with it. But most importantly, watching her grow into the little girl that she's become so far is amazing. Even with her ups and downs. I mean, that's part of life. But just watching her grow and overcome the things that she once wasn't sure of, and she's
Mhm.
overcoming it daily. Um, that's waking up every single day and seeing a beautiful soul like just wake up and say, "Good morning, daddy." Like just right there, that puts a smile on my face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I can't even begin to say like how much that just makes a warm feeling inside for myself when I'm opening my eyes to her telling me, "Good morning, daddy." It's just
Genuine, genuine.
absolutely,
There's nothing
absolutely.
like it.
Like, what's that?
I said nothing like it, man. There's nothing like it. You've been through my journey, through two sets of children. Uh, I got the 21-year-old. I got my she's 23. That's my son's sister, and I raised her. Shanice, and I had the opportunity to raise her before my son was even born. So that was kind of my practice run. I got to see what it was like, to be a father. And then my son came along, and then I started over, and now I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, which are both with me today. I have them actually, trying to fall asleep right now. They like to stay up when they come by me. So just hearing my daughter all the time, Daddy, I love you, Daddy. I love it, man. There's nothing like it. And I just
Right.
I just want to shout out, man, that I'm proud of you because I remember when we were younger, and we talked about all the things our kids were gonna be. I remember sitting back and, like my oldest son, he's 21, and I would sit back and I was like, oh, he's gonna be a gangster. My son gonna be just like me. He gonna be, falling in, with the set in the neighborhood and this and that, and now once he was born, I was like, oh, hell no. No, that is not what I want for him, and I tried everything I could to keep him away from that. And he somehow, managed to get himself in some trouble anyways. And I understand that kids are gonna get themselves in trouble. And us as parents, it's hard to not want to get them out of it, you know. So you got anything you want to say about that? Like, just, I mean, your daughter's still young, but I mean, you went through everything with me and saw what my mother went through. You saw what you put your mother through, and they just always wanted to save us. So I mean,
Yeah, so when we talk about that type of stuff, absolutely not. I wouldn't want her in the streets. I wouldn't want her doing half the shit that we did when we were kids, man. It did help us grow to be where the men we are today. But if we have a choice to be able to make a different life for our children, absolutely. I'll choose the difference.
well, I'm
Um,
I'm glad you get to be active every day, man, because you get to be active every day in your daughter's life, and that's a blessing in itself. Because I don't get to be active or present every day, so I get them every other weekend, and that's about as far as it goes. So I don't, I get them today, and it's always something new and something fun. I mean, just the stuff that they're saying, the reactions, the way that they act, and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm proud of you, brother, because you get to be active every single day, and that day will come. That I'll be able to get them every day. So
Absolutely. It takes time and effort, and seeing what I've seen from you thus far from where we used to be, bro, I'm proud of you. You know, um, I know that you feel that there's time or there's where you need to grow, but that's okay though. I'm Justin, I'm really proud of you, man. Like with what you're doing here, with what you're trying to do on the side, trying to show up for all these people in your life, man. Like that's a huge overcome from where you used to be, man. You always
but
cared.
that's
I
the thing
always
we
knew
never
you had a
focused on.
heart. What's that?
I said that's the thing we never focused on was showing up. I we have this ideal that we want to show up, and then we still have what I call selfishness. I was being selfish. I was, still wanting to do what I wanted to do, but I wanted to be a good dad. So I ended up in jail, and I ended up making all these piss poor decisions, which actually took me away from them. And now not being able to be active in their life with everything that I'm doing every single day and wake up every single day is just, it hurts. But at the same time, I know that the things in the path that I'm on now is going to change. It's going to create a better lifestyle for them. So I mean, I guess I'm not giving up. I'm just going to keep it moving. And with the Real Chat podcast, I want to say to everybody out there that are struggling with these day-to-day issues where they don't get their kids every day. You might not wake up to them every day. You get them every other week, every other month for the summer or whatever it may be. That doesn't make you a bad father. That doesn't make you less of a father. And it's all about, like you said, being able to show up. Just being able to show up, make that call. So if you don't have your kids every day, make sure you try to call them every day. At least try to FaceTime them every day. Let them know that you're there, you're present. So I mean, it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle, but you have a true blessing.
Oh yeah. True blessing. Like I tenfold do I have a blessing. Like I thank God every single day, bro, of all my blessings in my life. And far and foremost, it goes first. It goes Krista, Grace, God, my career, my just everything in my path, and it's The way I've been looking at it is not praying for myself all the time, but praying for others, but also praying as if the blessings are already coming, which they have, and just continuing that. Now, I'm not trying to be all like religious or anything, but that's what I do, you know? And
Mhm.
taking it back to that, like showing up, that's huge, man. Do you know, like, I struggle all the time showing up. It's not easy. Like, oh, am I going to say the wrong thing? I don't ever want to make her feel some type of way or let her know that I'm always there for her, you know? And that's the most important
Definitely.
thing. When you're a father, you got to show up for your kids. You got to put your emotions aside and you got to show up. Do I do it all the time? Absolutely not. But I'm learning.
Uh,
So I
correct.
just want to let
Correct.
everybody know out there, it's not easy. Nobody ever gave us a book that said parenting's going to be easy. But if we stop the cycles that we once grew up with or we are surrounded by, that's the difference that we can make for our children, for ourselves, for our life.
I'm listening, brother. I'm listening. I had to turn my
No,
head
you're
for a
good.
second.
I'm just, and self awareness too. Like being self aware of like one thing I struggle with is she's only 7 years old. How can a 7 year old get on your nerves or like happen to like upset you? Really? You're a grown ass man and you let a little 7 year old like affect you that way? But when you love your child that much and you just want to see the only thing for them to grow, it's going to
Mhm.
affect you, you know? And it's
Right.
okay to show tears if you're actually that hurt, you know? It really is. I
Yeah.
mean, at least
But
that's how I feel.
right, right. And I mean there's nothing wrong with that. And I understand what you're saying, about the self-awareness. And it's like being self-aware of what you need to do, as a father or a mother or whatever it may be, and I understand, about the kids getting on your nerves and stuff like that. Cause, I got a son that just works me over, every day, every day. Yes. Well, the one I'm talking about is number one. That's the 14-year-old works me over every day. And, my oldest he's somewhere where he's okay right now because he can't do anything crazy because he didn't want to listen in the first place. But my 14-year-old, it's a struggle every day, and it's a constant pushback. But then again, that's where they're trying to grow and find out who they are themselves, So I try to, when I talk to my lady about it and we try to figure out better ways to do things, she once sent me a post that said something like, uh, you know, don't try to share all your life experiences with them and tell them what not to do, but show them it's a team. It's a team effort that you're willing to do this with them. Learning to grow with them and try to help them along the way. But our first instinct is like, I know exactly what's going to happen because this is what I did, or this was what's going to happen. We I think kind of lose that perspective of how we felt when we were that age. At 14, my mom couldn't tell me anything. She told me everything that she'd been through under the sun, but there was nothing that I was going to listen to because I was my own man at 14. I was already doing my own thing and I was trying to be my own person. So it didn't matter what she told me, anyways, because I probably was going to do the complete opposite. But I mean, I took a lot of what she did say, it sunk in, but I couldn't put it into action until I was an adult myself. When I started seeing all the things that she was telling me or that she foreseen was going to happen start happening, then it's like, I should have listened, but in the heat of the moment, it's like, you don't know anything, So, I mean, just trying to be self aware of these things, and it's hard trying to get up and I go to his school and right away my first thought is, what'd you do? Why'd you do it? Well, this is what you should have did, and in his mind, he's like, no, that's not what I was thinking at the time. So what I should have did wasn't even on the table, you know, and I don't know. It's just it is rough when you try to raise these kids a- away from what you did, or the same life because it was two different times, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
No, yeah, you make a lot of sense. I mean, it's it's not easy, and having a 14-year-old, I can't even imagine that. Actually,
Oh, you
I
will.
mean, huh?
You will in
Oh
seven
yeah,
years.
yeah, I
It's
got
coming.
7 years.
And you have a daughter, so
Hey, bro, and not only that, let me let you know, at 7 years old, she be running over me, and like sometimes I don't even know how to take it. To be honest, I'd be like, and then I'll be like, but wait a minute, she's not even understanding half of the time what she's trying to get out. So like if I can meet her on her level, come down to her level and let her know, like, hey, you really don't want this for yourself, kiddo. Like, let's think of some way to show up, or let's think of a way to be better for ourselves or get through what we're struggling with, you know? I wish I had somebody, I love my mom. She didn't know how. I mean, she
right.
showed us stuff, but she didn't know how. I think all of our moms, even your mama, bro, like she did the best she could, you know? She
Oh
tried
yeah,
to tell us, both of our moms tried to tell us, you're right. We didn't listen.
correct.
Why listen? What,
Yeah.
so that we
I,
can tell them you're right?
yeah, nobody wants to hear the I told you so, So I mean, even when even when you get the I told you so, it turns into, yeah, but it didn't happen exactly like that. And and yeah, you told me this, that's not the way I did it, and that's not really what happened. But really in your head, you like, yeah, it turned out exactly like you said it was gonna happen, because why? She already knows people, or they already know everybody that's went through it, and 30 years before us. And I mean, we don't got much more time left, but I just want to tell you that again, man, I'm proud of you. And you know, we just got to keep struggling through everything together, but it's also about reaching out and being able to have those connections. I want people to be able to just like, you know lean on somebody when you have these questions, because you know what,
Right.
if we can reach everybody out here, or at least 5 people, then they know that they're not alone, they're not struggling through these things alone. So I mean, anything you want to top off before we go ahead and finish this podcast?
I mean, likewise, brother. Extremely proud of you in the direction you're taking your life. The things that we've been speaking about, it's real stuff. Like, this is why it's called Real Chat Podcast. Like, everything that we spoke about tonight is real. And we're putting ourselves out there to the public to let them know that we're coming out raw. And if you guys ever want to reach out to us, that's what we're here for. We're trying to reach out to men, women, youth, whatever we can to help the world give back. I mean, I want to thank you for your time again, for allowing me to be on this podcast. And I'm looking forward to more podcasts with you, and many blessings to your rest of your week. Enjoy that time with those kiddos, man. And man, it was
Man, I
great.
appreciate it. And like you said, man, this is our first time doing this. I mean, we're trying to figure out what it is that we are going to be doing, but it's all authentic. This is something that, came to fruition, and it's just going to be talking and just real chat, chopping it up and just being able to talk about real things that are going on. So again, like I said, this is our first time out doing this. So I really would appreciate the likes and the shares. That way you can leave comments and let me know what I can do better, what we can do better as a team. Um, what you want our podcast to be about, what are the things you want to talk about. We're also going to have comments where you could chime in, because eventually we're going to be doing this live. Right now, me and my boy Kyle, we do these recordings, and eventually we're going to be doing them live, and that's my goal. I want to be able to get out here and do this live, so it's 100% authentic, and we can get everybody info and input, and then that way we can go based off of that. Anything you got on your mind that you want to talk about, again, like and subscribe, and we'll be back next week. I thank you all, and we appreciate you. All right, brother. We'll talk next week.
All right. Love you, brother.